Good morning, everyone, and thank you for attending the C.H. Robinson Virtual Job Fair event. I would like to introduce you to Jason and Kate. Jason and Kate will tell you about their company, job openings, and how to apply for those openings. Jason and Kate?
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Appreciate everybody's time and being a part of this today. We're excited to be here and talk a little bit about who we are, what we do. Before we do that, I'll just give you a quick intro of myself, and obviously I'll allow Kate to do the same. I'm Jason Gardner. I'm the senior recruiter for C.H. Robinson. I recruit for our Great Lakes region. I'm based in our downtown Chicago office. Been with the company about 4.5 years, hiring anything from entry level to experienced management, sales, analytics, a little bit of everything. So that's a little bit about me, and I'll pass it over to Kate.
Sure. Thanks, Jason. So hello, everyone. My name is Kate. I'm also a recruiter sitting in the Chicago office, so alongside Jason, obviously now, not physically, and we're at home, but I've been recruiting for C.H. Robinson. Well, my total tenure has been about 13 years, a little bit over 13 years. I actually started in a sales role, entry-level sales, right when I graduated college, and then did sales and account management before recruiting, HR and recruiting, where I currently sit. So, yep, I recruit, similar to Jason, I recruit for Great Lakes, more specifically the downtown Chicago location, but we're excited to kind of intro to you today who we are, what we do, and some opportunities that we have available to you.
Yeah, so we're excited. We have our PowerPoint here. We want to just, as Kate mentioned, just share with you a little bit more about who we are, what we do on a high level, as well as showcase some opportunities that we currently are hiring for. So I guess to kick it off, just if you're not familiar, with C.H. Robinson, we are one of the world's largest 3PLs, or third-party logistics companies. And keep it simple, really what we do is help provide solutions. We have about 120,000 customers worldwide that we service: Starbucks, Amazon, Walmart, all the way down to a small mom and pop shop. And it's not one size fits all. Some customers, we are providing technology solutions, leveraging our platform, Navisphere. Other customers, we're doing full-on supply chain deep dives. But a majority of what we do is help our customers move their product or freight from point A to point B. And we do that all over the world: truck, train, boat, plane, we make it happen. So a lot more to it than that, but that's our customer side of the business. In addition, we have our carrier side of the business. And when I say the word carrier, I'm referring to a transportation or like a trucking company. We have about 70,000 carriers in our network, anything from a single owner operator of a truck to a small trucking company of 5 or 10 trucks in the fleet, all the way up to a trucking company with thousands of trucks. And these carriers work with us because we provide them freight. We keep their trucks full, keep the wheels moving, keeping everybody making money. So to keep it in its most simplest of terms, we are essentially kind of that middleman between the customer and the carrier. Dan, you can go to the next slide, please. So let's talk a little bit about the aspect of a 3PL. So as I kind of alluded to, rather than selling a product, we're really selling a service, and that service is moving goods across the globe. And again, we do that by connecting with companies that have product that they need shipped, match them with carriers that have the equipment to move that product, as we mentioned, like trucks, boats, trains, planes, and such. And you might ask yourself, why would a company use a 3PL provider? Now, there's a lot more to it than this, of course, but it allows that customer more time to focus on their core business. And the great thing is one call to C.H. Robinson equals access to 30 service lines. And when I say service lines, I'm referring to some of the different services we offer, whether that's refrigerated truck, flatbed truck, air, ocean freight, warehousing, consolidation. Again, that's just a few of the many services we offer, which allows us to put some really unique solutions together for our customers. that nobody else in the marketplace can do. And again, we are really that trusted advisor to our customer to, really help them find the best mode of transportation and the best answers to their supply chain solutions. Next slide, Daniel. Now, again, just a brief overview. We solve logistics problems for companies across the globe and across industries, from simple to the most complex. We are one of the world's largest logistics platforms. As I mentioned earlier, we have our own platform, our own proprietary software, Navisphere, that we built in-house. As you can see, just some things we're pretty proud of. 20 billion in freight under management, 18 million shipments annually. Customer and carrier base, over 200,000 in our network. We move the most truckload freight of any company in the world. Larger than our next 5 LTL competitors combined. LTL stands for less than truckload. #1 routes from China to the US with our ocean. And we have a global, as I mentioned, Navisphere, global managed TMS, again, to help solve these complex supply chains across the world. Next slide, Daniel. Now, I talked a little bit about our customers earlier that we work with, but we work with customers in every industry, bringing best-in-class solutions. And this slide just showcased some of the customers that are in our network, in addition to some that I mentioned earlier. So definitely, I think some pretty impressive names, and we're honored to be a part of obviously helping these companies grow and make their supply chains more efficient. Next slide, please. Global suite of services. So for our top 500 customers, we're delivering on average over 3 services to these customers, whether it's truckload, ocean, consolidation, managed services, air, LTL, intermodal, last mile, customs and compliance, sourcing, consulting. We do it all. We're kind of that one-stop shop for the customer. Again, to really dive in, get to know their business, and really take on that advising and consulting aspect to, again, help them grow their business and help make their supply chains more efficient. So next slide, please. So I'm going to turn it over now to Kate, who's going to talk a little bit more about the roles and that we're looking to hire. So I'll pass it over to Kate. Thank you.
Awesome. Yep. Thanks, Jason. So as Jason mentioned, we work with all sorts of customers, and to them, we're selling the service of moving their freight, right? And so that's sort of one half of our business, if you will, getting those customers to commit to moving their freight through C.H. Robinson. Now, once we get that commitment, we need to find trucks to put it on, right? And Jason mentioned a lot of modes of transportation, but for all intents and purposes, and for these positions that we're looking to fill, we'll kind of focus more on truckload. So in this wheel, sort of, you'll see here, the grayed out portion, so step 1 and step 2, find new customers and build relationships and win business, that's really focused on the customer side of our business. Once we have that committed business, then the carrier sales representatives step into play. And so they're building relationships with carriers, again, anyone from an owner operator to a large fleet, and really playing a big matchmaking game, right? Seeing loads in our system, that are picking up in one location, delivering in another, and finding drivers that they've built relationships with, that are in that area and want to go to the other area, right? Picking up from point A to point B. Obviously, there's some negotiation with price, and you obviously have to sell the load to them. But once you've done that, you have to manage the freight throughout. So when we, number 3, we're finding that carriers building relationships, we're booking them on freight. Number 4, managing that freight throughout. So making sure they're getting from point A to point B on time, accidents that happen or breakdowns or things that happen along the way, making sure you're trying to mitigate against those. And when an issue does come up, handling that and communicating with the customer side of the business. And then number 5, manage and grow accounts. We want this to be a continuous relationship. We don't want a transactional sale where you book one driver on one load and never talk to them again. We want to make that into a relationship that, hey, every Tuesday, your driver's up in Minneapolis and needs to get down to Chicago, and you found a customer that has that lane every Tuesday. So you're booking them on it consistently. So we want to make it a true ongoing business relationship. So again, to kind of summarize, the carrier sales role really is developing those relationships with those trucking companies and providing them freight to move their trucks across the country. Daniel, if you want to go to the next slide, I think this next slide breaks down. Yep. So we talked a little bit about the different size of fleets that we work with. I always think this slide's really interesting because if you'll see in the upper right hand or upper left hand corner, 59% of carriers in the US are owner operated capacity. So over half of the trucks that you see on the road are an owner operator. So a guy or girl, they own their own truck and they're moving freight from point A to point B on their own, not necessarily part of a company. And so that's reflected in who we work with as well. So right below that, you'll see C.H. Robinson. 86.5% of the business that we work with trucking companies is between 1 and 5 trucks. So those owner operators are small fleets. And then moving all the way to the right hand of your screen, only 13 carriers within our network that we work with have over 4,000 trucks. So the reason I think it's interesting, just kind of flat out, but I also kind of like to relate this to you, right, as a potential candidate or someone who can see themselves coming into the company as a carrier rep. There's a lot of opportunity out there, right? If we only worked with 13 carriers that had 4,000 plus trucks, what would you come in and do, right? There's probably people already working with them. There's not much more to sell, but there clearly is. There is, again, over half of the carriers are owner operators. So lots of business to go out there and get, which is really exciting. And we are hiring for these carrier roles right now. So Daniel, if you want to go to the next slide. We'll talk about the positions that we're hiring for currently. So again, both of us are in our Chicago office, so we hire for the Chicagoland area. We do have offices across the world, really, but across the country. So if anyone's interested in a different location, we can always take that offline and talk about that. But in Chicago, we have carrier sales representatives. This is a full-time role. We have 2 start dates. So we have an April start date, and then we also have a June start date. And the locations are listed there. So downtown Chicago, we're in the Lincoln Park neighborhood. I guess I don't know if it's new anymore, but Lincoln Yards, and they're building that all out. We're sort of the flagship building there. And then Woodridge, Illinois. So 2 locations currently that we have full-time opportunities for, again, with April and June start dates. Our career site is also listed there, so feel free to pop on our career site and look around. Tons of opportunities. Again, we're highlighting carrier sales representatives, which is what we have currently available, but there's a lot of different opportunities across all of our offices. So Daniel, I think the next slide has our contact information on it. And so feel free, I guess, if we can turn it over to questions as well. Anyone has any questions, you can type in the chat or unmute yourself and ask us. We're more than willing to talk more about CH, more about the role, more about our journey, whatever you want. So feel free.
Fantastic. Thank you for your presentation, both Jason and Kate. The primary means through which we'll go ahead and communicate our questions today will be through the chat section. So if anybody does have any questions for Kate or Jason regarding employment with C.H. Robinson, please enter those into the chat and we'll get those answered for you shortly here. Kate and Jason, in the meantime, while we're waiting for some folks to enter some questions into the chat, I have some just standard generalized questions that I like to ask all of our employers. So I'll go ahead and pose those questions to you, and whoever of the 2 of you would be the best to answer, please feel free to chime in. So Kate, Jason, can you kind of explain a little bit more, how long does a hiring process typically take from the point of submitting an application to actually being hired?
Yeah, I could take this.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
So it's typically, once you submit an application, One of us is typically reviewing that within, I'd say, about a week, give or take. We do like to try and be super timely, and of course get back to candidates as soon as possible. That applicant, if we obviously are interested in their application, we will reach out to that candidate for a phone interview. If the, of course, phone interview goes well, then we move that candidate on to a final round virtual interview. So I guess total time process, I'd say safely, depending on schedules, can be anywhere from about 2.5 to 3 weeks, I think. We like to get people in and get through the process in a timely fashion.
Fantastic. Thank you for that, Jason. And I did notice one thing that you just stated in your response there. So how is the organization handling COVID safety precautions, and is virtual interviewing available for every step of the process? I guess I just want you to elaborate a little bit more maybe on that.
Yeah, so all of our interviewing right now is being conducted virtual. First round is just a phone interview, and then the second final round is a virtual Microsoft Teams video interview. So the entire interview process is virtual. When it comes to being in the workplace, and I'm going to go off, not too far off here, but basically for this carrier sales rep role, we offer a really excellent 6-month training program that we didn't touch on. We're very invested and committed to our people, and really giving you the tools you need to be set up for success. This is not a, hey, let's throw 100 against the wall and hopefully 20 stick. Hopefully the fact that we have a 6-month training program really tells you a story as far as our commitment and our investment to setting our people up for success. So once hired, we are offering some flexibility. We have provided all of our people, as well as new hires, with equipment to be able to set up a home office and work from home. As far as our training program, it starts off with a 2-week virtual classroom training. There's typically about 20 to 25 new hires from all over the country. These are live training classes the first 2 weeks, led by our facilitators up at corporate headquarters. Once you get through that 2 weeks, the rest of the 6-month program is a combination of more classroom training, video classroom training, more e-learning, hands-on, shadowing, working with your team and your coach and mentor in your office to, again, really get you acclimated with the business, the industry, who we are, what we do, again, to really set you up for success. So during that training, we're trying to be as flexible as possible and obviously be adherent to everyone's concerns and comfort level. I will say our offices are open. People are going in. I'd say on any given day, maybe 15% of the office is occupied. So there are some aspects of the training that, are definitely you're able to do virtually and at home. There are some aspects that if you're comfortable, it's definitely more productive and beneficial in the office. But again, we are being very, very flexible with that. And of course, with everybody's comfort level with COVID. At some point, we do hope to return back to the office on a more regular or consistent basis. But for the time being, obviously, we are, again, being flexible.
Fantastic. Thank you for that thorough response, Jason. We did get some questions in the chat from some of the folks who are on the call. I know you guys did cover, I believe, briefly, the positions that you have available, but we did get a question. This individual asks, what does the job entail? So can you give a abbreviated version, perhaps, of what you provided in the beginning of the presentation?
Yeah, absolutely. I can kind of go into that a little bit. And Jason, just feel free to add. But yeah, so for the carrier sales representative position, after you go through training and the mentorship program, and you're really looking to build your own book of business, it's a true sales role, right? So you are learning from our systems how to prospect and find carriers that we don't currently work with or that we don't work with a lot, and trying to build relationships with them. So that entails, I guess, a lot of different things. But when you're looking for loads in our system, you come in the morning and you're probably checking on freight from the previous day, making sure things got picked up and delivered on schedule and on time. If anything happened overnight that you need to sort of mitigate, checking in on that. And then you're starting to call your carriers that you've built relationships with and saying, hey, where do you have drivers that are empty? Where are they looking to go? And then you're looking in the system and trying to match that up with freight available that we have, right? And then, talking pricing with them. Hey, I've got this load for you. It's paying $1,000. What do you think? And then kind of going back and forth. I'm simplifying this, obviously, but and then you're booking freight over and over again, right? So you're playing that matchmaking game, you're booking freight. There's a lot more complexities that go into it, but keeping it high level for today, a lot of relationship building externally with the carriers, but also internally with the customer community, right? The customer sales reps, because they're the ones who are bringing in the freight from our customers. And so you have to have great internal relationships as well, and make sure you have a great communication skills on top of that. So booking freight's the name of the game, right? And trying to build those long lasting relationships.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Kate. We did get some other questions in the chat. This one that we have, this individual asks, are these positions salary or commissions based?
Yep. So these positions start off, it's base plus commission for all intents and purposes. They start off, you're paid an hourly rate up until you go on to commission. Now, commission can happen at different times for different people. There are certain, metrics you have to meet, revenue and volume goals, in order to have commissions sort of turn on, if you will, start earning commissions. Definitely for at least the first 6 months, I'd probably say at least the first year, you'll be on a sort of that base plus a bonus opportunity. And then eventually commissions, right? And so the more you book, the more money you're making and putting directly in your pocket. And once you do go on commission, that base never goes away. It stays there, which is great. So you have, again, base plus uncapped commission opportunities.
Fantastic. Thank you for that, Kate. We did get an additional question. This individual asks, what is the typical schedule for this position?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Go ahead.
What I was gonna say, Jason, it might be different for different offices, but at Chicago Central, this position is staffed 7 to 5. That could be your schedule, or it could be 7 to 4 or 8 to 5, kind of a variance of that. But typically, I'd say probably 7 to 5 is a more typical schedule.
Awesome. Thank you for that. We did get an additional question. This individual asks, are there any management positions available now or perhaps in the near future?
Yeah, we are always, the exciting thing I think right now is I'm going to take it a step further here with kind of coming out of COVID, so to speak. I mean, I know I can speak for myself, and I'm sure Kate would agree. I mean, I know in my time with Robinson, my 4.5 years, this is probably the busiest I've ever been. We are hiring. Our business is doing quite well. We are posting new roles all the time. So currently, I'll be honest, and Kate, I mean, obviously speak up if you know any. I know currently I don't believe we have any leadership opportunities that are coming to mind that are local. But again, I mean, we are posting new opportunities almost every week. We do promote quite a bit from within, but we also open all of our postings externally as well to evaluate external talent for our leadership roles as well. So I don't think there's anything current, but definitely, I mean, it's again something that we're posting almost every week.
And I guess just to add to that, you can sign up for job alerts on our website. And so if you're interested in management opportunities specifically, or specific titles or locations, you can go online and set up those alerts. So though we may not have something right now, at least in Chicagoland area, you can be alerted once we do have something.
And not to mention, I mean, if there is any silver lining of COVID, Previously our organization, we're based up in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, just outside of Minneapolis. Previously, a lot of opportunities. If you wanted to move up in the company, hey, you're going to have to move here. Hey, you got to live here. You got to be in this location. Well, if there's any silver lining of COVID, it is that we are now seeing a lot more opportunities come across that are offering that ability to be remote, not be on site in a specific location, which I think for some people who maybe in the past had their hands tied and were kind of tied to a location, it's now opening the doors for a lot of people. So as Kate mentioned, you can go on our careers page, set up alerts. It's super user friendly. You can search by different keywords, job titles, locations. And again, we are posting new opportunities on a weekly basis, which is super exciting right now.
Fantastic. Thank you both. We did get an additional question. This individual asks, can you elaborate on what the base salary range tends to be? I don't know if that's something that you all feel comfortable with answering right now. If not, we can go ahead with an additional question.
We can share it. As Kate mentioned, for the carrier sales rep role, it's a base plus monthly bonus opportunity. We offer a base for these two locations. Obviously, it can vary based on location, market. Specifically for downtown and for Woodridge, we offer a base of $48,000. Now, this role is an hourly role. We switched to hourly a couple of years ago to make sure we were adherent to federal regulations. Not to mention, we wanted to make sure we were compliant and compensating our people correctly. And what I mean by that is, don't get me wrong, we pride ourselves on working smart, not hard. But should the need arise, hey, I need to stay logged in an extra half hour. Hey, I need to stay on an extra 45 minutes to get this done. We want to make sure you're compensated correctly. So you're always going to work your 40 hours. The hourly equates to a base of $48,000 a year. And on top of that, again, you have the opportunity to earn a monthly bonus on top of that base based on, of course, your sales, your performance. And then, of course, as Kate mentioned, once you step into that carrier account manager role, typically in a year, anywhere from a year to 2.5 years down the road, that's what we're seeing. Your base goes up, and then that monthly bonus does evolve into monthly uncapped commission, where then, you can really turn it loose, obviously. So on top of all that, we offer full benefits, medical, dental, vision, 18 days of vacation plus 2 floating holidays. So essentially 20 days of PTO your first year, flexible spending, stock options, 401k with a 6% match, wellness programs. Each office does a lot of, employee appreciation. We have a Robinson Cares program in which we do a lot of giving back to the community. I know our downtown office, we do a ton of giving back to the Lurie's Children's Hospital, probably 10 to 12 times throughout the year at least. So it's really great overall compensation package that we offer our people.
Fantastic. Thank you both for your openness and transparency and answering that question. Did have another question that came into the chat. This individual asks, do you need experience for this position?
Sure. So, these are entry-level positions. And so technically, no, I mean, you don't need to come in with some amazing sales experience. Obviously, we do look for a certain baseline of skill sets. I think I threw a couple of things in the chat there that we look for. We do provide a great training program, as Jason had mentioned. So we want to find people who can come in with the right sales mindset, the right mentality, the right motivations, but we can help you and mold you into that. So again, both are entry-level positions at this time. So, you don't necessarily have to have had previous experience.
Fantastic. Thank you for that, Kate. We did get an additional question in the chat. I'm not sure if it is relevant or pertinent to this discussion, but I'll ask it anyways. This individual asks, are you hiring for any ocean operation positions? Don't know if that's something you all can answer or you're even familiar with, but.
Yeah. So we have our global forwarding division. That's our freight forwarding side of the business, the international side of things. We have multiple locations across the US. We do have a global forwarding office here in Chicago. It's located in Wooddale. Illinois. So just it's pretty close to O'Hare, if you're familiar. I'll be honest, Kate and myself do not do too much hiring for them. We have a team of recruiters that hires just specifically for global forwarding. So unfortunately, I don't know exactly what they do or don't have currently, but anything that they would have available would be on our careers page. So you can definitely filter specific to the role you're looking for, or specific to Wooddale if you're looking local, and everything should be right there for you.
Jason, I just threw in the chat a link to, I just did a quick search while you were talking. So if you want to click that link for global forwarding in Chicago, those are all the positions that are listed there.
Cool. Thanks, Kate.
Yeah, of course.
Fantastic. Thank you both for answering that question. I don't believe we have any other questions in the chat, but I do want to remind folks, if you do have any questions for Jason or Kate regarding employment with C.H. Robinson, please feel free to enter those questions into the chat and we'll get those answered for you. Kate and Jason, in the meantime, what I'll go ahead and do is just kind of ask a wrap-up question that I typically ask on all of my virtual job fair events, and that is, what are the opportunities for advancement within C.H. Robinson? And are there any particular success stories that you might highlight for the folks who are on the call?
Yeah, absolutely, Jason. I can jump in a little bit here and you feel free to add in, but we definitely try to promote from within. I think in Jason's response earlier to, hey, are there any management opportunities available? For example, I just hired for some managers. The jobs are closed now, but we posted them internally and externally. We ended up going internally and promoting from within. You know, throughout my career, right, I started entry-level sales, and I've done sales, I've done some account management, and then I'm in recruiting, and it kind of works my way up the recruiting arm of things. I know that when I first started as a recruiter, we had an intern who was still in school and did actually 2 internships with us, and then started full-time in sales. He was very successful in sales and now is promoted to a regional sales manager. And so absolutely, there's room for advancement and growth. We're a very large company, and you know, though in my previous example, Andrew worked his way from intern to sales manager, and so he kind of stayed within that sales path. You know, like me, I hopped around a little bit: sales, account management, HR. I wasn't really looking for HR. It just kind of happened. And again, with such a big company and striving to promote from within, opportunities could come across that you never really thought of, you know, but being part of this big company allows you to do so. So yes, in a long-winded answer, but there's definitely opportunities to advance your career, learn and grow. And you don't always have to go up. You can make a horizontal move, you know, temporarily or you know, in the short term to make a long-term move up as well. So great question. Yeah, I guess, Jason, anything to add there?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of my favorite things, honestly, about the company is just the opportunities for growth and advancement. I mean, quite frankly, you look at our CEO, you look at a lot of the executives, they all started 20, 30 years ago in entry-level sales and worked their way up, which is, I mean, that's cool. That's exciting. You know, not to mention, I mean, just the scope of our business and what we do. There's just each job family, whether within carrier sales, customer sales, account management, there's opportunity to grow in those job families. There's analytics. We're in HR. There's IT. There's so much opportunity to really come in and grow in this organization. And I think what's exciting is it's really dependent on you as you know, really evaluating what's important to you, what motivates and drives you, because I think we offer quite a bit of it. You know, whether that's, hey, I want to come in, I want to sell. I want to make a ton of money. That's great. We have those opportunities. If you're just looking to come in and be an individual contributor, we have that. Whereas there's some people who want to come in, be successful, and grow into a leadership role. They want that responsibility. We offer those avenues as well, too. So I think it's really coming in and really, you know, evaluating what motivates you, where your passions lie, where you're looking to take your career. And I can almost guarantee you more than likely we're going to have it within Robinson.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for that response, both to Jason and Kate. Doesn't appear that we got any additional questions in the chat section. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and hand things over to you guys again once more for any sort of summary statements or additional information that you would like to highlight, or perhaps something that you touched upon that during the course of our conversation struck a chord and you thought, maybe I want to elaborate on that a little bit further. If you have anything like that, please feel free to address that now, either Jason or Kate or both of you.
Yeah, I guess I would just like to start by again thanking everybody for this platform and allowing us to be here today and just share a little bit more about who we are, what we do, obviously what Kate and I really enjoy, and it's being a part of CH Robinson. Talking about this and sharing this with everyone and such is really a great opportunity. So thank you for everybody taking, of course, time out of their day to be a part of this. By all means, and I'm sure Kate will echo the same here in a moment, but connect with us on LinkedIn, reach out, dive into our careers page. There's a lot of great opportunities with the company. If you're looking for a career, not just a job, Robinson's a great place that is really looking to find driven, career-minded individuals that want to come in, be a sponge, learn, and grow. So you don't have to have a supply chain background. You don't have to have a sales background. We're really looking for those who are hungry, driven, motivated, have that blue-collar work ethic or mentality, that again are really looking for a career, not just a job. So again, for me, thank you so much. This is a really cool opportunity. I'm glad I was able to be a part of this and share with you a little bit more about myself and CH Robinson.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Just echoing everything Jason said. Thank you all. For sure, connect with us on LinkedIn. Our emails are there. So if you need to put that in to make the connection, feel free. And if you're interested in any career opportunities, first apply online at the website. If you have more specific questions, you can email us as well. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Kate, for your wonderful presentation. Again, Jason and Kate have provided their contact information on the screen for you. So make sure that you all jot that down. If you do have any questions regarding the application process or any of the information covered here today, you can, of course, feel free to reach out to them. I do want to make a note that I have recorded this presentation here today, and it will be uploaded to the Illinois workNet YouTube channel. Additionally, it will also be provided on CH Robinson's employer booth on Illinois workNet as well. And I believe Valencia with the YWCA stated that it will also be available through their organization as well. So be on the lookout for the video if you do want to come back to reference it for any sort of information during your application process. So thank you all for participating today. We hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
Thank you all.